here, Flip Anything. It's Saturday morning. Couple things. And I guess some of y'all get notifications if you press that bell that's on your screen, on your Facebook screen, for like this. So I'm gonna have a free gift for y'all, but I'm gonna give it to a limited amount of folks in the beginning, but it's gonna be something really cool, and basically it's gonna aid you in finding property and being organized, and it's going to kind of give you a lot of insight on some of the things I do internally, how I am organized. So if you would push that bell so you get notified. I'm not saying it's going to happen on the next time I do something live, but it's coming soon. And the other thing is I'm wanting more likes. If you can like my videos, that'll help me get a little more popularity. I'm understanding, but I don't know. I'm told we're growing fast. But you know, obviously, I'm making this video as I've said, it's kind of a live guide for my boys, or a video guide for my boys. And they're with me all the time. They're actually in the car right now. But so to get back to the topic of staying focused, let's talk about that. Hey, number one, push that notification bell, because I really am going to be excited to have some of y'all get this gift, and I think you're going to like it a lot. I know you are. But again, I'm going to give it to those that I know, you know, are in touch and are pretty active, because I kind of qualify you that way, because I want you to be successful, of course. Anyways, to staying focused. Somehow I lost a video when I talked about staying focused the other day. Anyways, it's gone. It disappeared. But I was going to revisit that anyways, just because it is so important to stay on point. I was talking about a friend of mine that is a little bit scattered. He gets things ready to go, and then he starts on to something else. And instead of just getting everything ready to go and then go forward, gets everything ready to go, and then he gets distracted. And I've done it myself too, but it's not so bad doing that. You just don't want to do it. I mean, for me, it's not so bad, okay? Because I've already created all these engines of, you know, cash flow. So I can get away with being a little distracted, because a lot of the things I've created that make money don't take much of my time to watch. In other words, I'm kind of on autopilot somewhat with my rentals and things like that. When vacancies pop up, boy, you'll see me get into gear, because I don't like too many vacancies. That's just money going out the door, and not in my pocket. So, but for you guys that are getting rolling and figuring out how to get organized, you know, I mean, if you haven't made a lot of money yet, then you definitely want to pay attention and definitely want to stay focused, and don't be so easily distracted. You know, make a goal, make a realistic goal, and see it through. And when I mean see it through, I mean, you know, achieve that goal and then move on to the next. And it's good to have realistic goals, of course, and it's also good to have, you know, stretch yourself a little bit. And somebody talked to me the other day. They were going to buy a new house, and they're kind of going through it, a little bit nervous, because it's a little bit more house maybe than they need or want, but it's and like I told them, I always stretch. And I'm sorry, I don't know what you just wrote. You're going to have to repost that. If you would paste that back up again, maybe one of my boys will read it. Boys kind of watch that screen, because I can't. Anyways, I missed it because I'm driving. So he's supposed to go ahead. My son's right next to me. He'll make sure I catch it. So I gotta get rid of that. So anyways, it's so important. And look, I've done it before. I got a lot of stuff going right now. I got an app business going. I got other things going, and I've got the houses. The 3-day deal just got painted yesterday. I just had granite countertops put in on another property that I didn't even have time to take videos on, but it's pretty, it looks great. Love granite countertops. I can't always justify putting them in. In fact, you're going to see, like I said, I'm going to turn this house, the one I showed you, I don't know, a video or two ago, about $105,000 is now roughly $500,000. We'll know when I sell it, right? But like that's on my list. I'm heading to Home Depot. I'm gonna get my boys some breakfast, and we're gonna go to Home Depot, and I'm gonna go see if I can find a decent sign. Otherwise, I'm just gonna have one of my sign people make a nice looking sign. And on to signs, by the way. So first thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna try to sell this thing by owner. I may list it with an agent. I may, but first thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna list this. I'm sorry, I'm going to put this up, put a yard sign in, and I'll put it on Craigslist, because Craigslist is how I rent and sell nearly everything that I own. I don't use anything but Craigslist. It's just simple, it's easy, and it's free. So I'm going to get this sign. I'm going to put the one house up for sale. We've got a second house I showed you yesterday. I'm going to put that up for sale. Between the two of those, hopefully be between $800,000 and $900,000. I'm going to guess it'll be about $820,000 in the end, but maybe a little more. And then you can bet actually there's a property I'm looking at, another one I've been calling on for years, and I see there's a car lot in there now, so I'm interested in finding out about that. So anybody got any goals? Anybody working on anything? It says I got a bad connection. I'm not even sure anybody's seeing this. But be sure to press that bell notification. Like I said at the beginning of this broadcast, I'm going to give away some free gifts. But it's going to be based on those notifications. You're going to have to respond off a notification. And it'll be in a live deal when I announce this thing. But you're going to like it. And also, if you don't mind, if you watch the content, you enjoy the content, please like it. Those likes will get us more attention too, which I want, and trying to help as many people as I can. So anybody got any questions on organizing, on anything? I don't care what, anything. One second, when you're bird dogging and when you always have to remember to follow up, okay? In fact, we're going to go bird dog something here. I'm probably going to feed my boys first just because I know they're hungry. But I saw a little for sale sign about yay big. Not everybody would see that, okay? But I saw it, and it's on a little interesting piece of dirt that I drive by and look at almost every day. And today I noticed the for sale sign. And I mean, we're talking about a building that's about the size of 3 garages, and there was a for sale sign, tiny one posted, and it sets back off the road. So we're going to take a look at that too. Other than that, Saturday's always a good day to go drive around. If you got the day off, like today, got a nice day off. It's a good day. Okay, let's see.
So you have a database of properties you're interested in, and how do you follow? Oh, I missed it.
How do I follow up?
Yeah.
Okay, if you were asking if I have a database of properties that I follow up on, it depends. If I'm farming an area, or canvassing an area for leads, or for looking for somebody, kind of like agents do for looking for a listing, I will do that. I will send out letters. I don't usually send postcards. I know some people do. I'll send out letters, and when I do that, I keep a database for sure. And as soon as somebody responds, I go into my database and write down the name of who responded, and now I got their phone number, and I'll make some notes about the conversation that we had. If we talked about the price, that'll go in there. you know, or maybe I just, you know, whatever the conversation. Give you an example. I might write, interested in selling but doesn't know how much is going to get back with me next week. Make a note on my calendar, call back in a week. And I'm very, you know, very diligent and disciplined to, I make notes. Call back in a week, I call back in a week. I always do what say I'm going to do. When it comes to real estate, I mean, I get excited. When I see something I can buy, I know I'm going to make money on it. So I'm like, you know, like a hawk. I keep my eyes on it. And because real estate's the most lucrative thing I've ever been involved with. And, you know, I want all of you guys, and it doesn't matter how old you are, anytime you get started, the sooner the better, but, you know, like I said, even if you're just moderately involved, like I said, I've got a house here that I paid $105 for. When I bought it, it was probably worth $150. It was under market when I bought it, and but I liked it. I actually officed out of it too, and so that's probably one of the reasons I kept that one so long. But now it's been 15 years, and now it's worth about $500,000, and I would never pay $500,000 for this house. Never. So, like I talked about, my sensibilities are if I don't sell it, then I'm buying it, right? If you don't sell something that you own, you're buying it. But back to your database. But yeah, I mean, yeah, you keep a database and you know, and watch it, and you know, I mean, in the old days, I mean, I still had a database. I was probably one of the most computer literate people there were in the beginning when computers first came out, because they were like brand new when I was young. And but I had one. I mean, I remember spending like $8,000-$10,000 on a you know, I mean, several times I did that actually. I had what you call a tape backup. Most of you probably don't even know that, but I can tell you, like an 80 megabyte, okay? You don't even talk in megabytes like that small anymore. An 80 megabyte hard drive was about that thick, about that big. It was enormous, and it cost like $1,200 or maybe more. God, it was so expensive. And then I remember I had a tape backup to back up my data on a tape automatically. And you know, anyways, what you guys can get now for $1,000 or you know, probably $500 is 10 times better than what I started with. And you know, it was a dial-up modem, it was all kinds of terrible stuff. I mean, it wasn't even the internet. There was no internet. You just go into a database through a modem. Let's see, I gotta switch over. Thanks. But being organized notes, you know, like I say, you know, a database is for like when I'm combing through thousands of properties, and I do that sometimes. But really, the bulk of my stuff that I buy, the most profitable things, don't come that way. They come by just having, you know, a good eye, and you know, and when I drive, like somebody says, hey, somebody actually wrote me this weekend, Mr. Fernandez, which, hey, I'm glad you're looking and shopping, David, and keep it up. But you're always bird dogging. If you're like me, you're always bird dogging. It's not like just going bird dogging the weekend. I'm bird dogging every time I'm in my car. I look in everywhere. And right now I'm trying to find a restaurant. It's in there somewhere. Anyways, and I missed it. So always be bird dogging, always look, and as far as the database, always keep good notes. You know, you don't want to forget somebody's name when you call somebody and you had a conversation with them, you know, or maybe they tell you something that's of importance to them. You know, remember it, don't forget it, and you know, it'll just give you greater rapport when you are talking with somebody. And because you might not be the only one approaching this person and talking to the person about, you know, what they have for sale. And so if they like you, all the better. And they remember you. And like I said, a lot of people sell properties for a lot of different reasons, and not everybody's concerned about, you know, squeezing every cent out of it. And they just want it to be easy. And and that's what you want to try to do. You want to make it easy for them. And I know a lot of you want to do like wholesaling, and which I mean, I get different ideas of what that means, but I mean, ideally, really, you want to get to where you can just buy and close property and then resell it for more. Assignments are cool. I've been doing those for years, but I've got more money now than I've ever had, and so of course I'm not as likely to assign anything anymore because I can simply close the deal and then just resell it. There is something, I'm not even sure how valid it works anymore, but when you buy your property, this is just another tip. When you go through title, you used to be able to pay like whatever title cost, whatever my title, your title report, your title insurance cost, you could pay a little bit more, like a 10% more, and then you'd be able to get the next, when you resell it, basically you could get another title report. It's already paid for. You paid for it when you paid that extra 10%, and that's a great way to you save quite a bit of money when you flip the property. You're not having to pay for a whole new title report. You're paying for only 10% of what it would normally cost you. Not even sure you can still do that anymore, but it used to be an option. So anyways, I'm getting here to the restaurant where I'm going to feed my boys. If anybody's got any questions, please ask away, and put a comment in there, and I'll try to get to it. I know a couple people asked questions here, and I kind of missed them, but I'll certainly address it later. In fact, after we eat here, I may run over to this property where I told you I saw a small sign, and may turn back on for that. So that's it for now. Have a good Saturday, and we'll talk to you later. Thanks.